Come up, please give your name.
My name is Linda Washington, and I just want to say that listening to the report that the clerk just gave, I understand about the 4 years. When I was a trustee, I had a standing committee, Neighborhood Watch. My committee was FOIA'd for all of the receipts that we collected. They wanted a copy of every check that anybody gave a public or a private donation to help buy 500 book bags with school supplies. None of the money was paid for by the village. It was all donations that we collected. They even took receipts of any and everything else that we purchased while we was out buying book bags. They called people on the phone that donated and asked them, why did they donate to my committee? They took up Mohan's time and everybody else's time FOIAing things that I was doing to raise money to buy book bags for the children in this village, and it had nothing to do with the village money at all. This has everything to do with the village money. I don't understand why trustees are having committee meetings if there's nobody at the meetings. If you're at a meeting by yourself, or you and just one other person, I would not feel right taking a $125 payment for a committee meeting to only have 2 people. As a trustee, it's your responsibility to get in the community and talk with the residents and invite them to come to your committee, ask them to be a part of your committee, tell them what your committee is doing. We had Neighborhood Watch, Ed Myers, Gary Hogan, and myself, we stayed in these blocks, in this community, ask people to join Neighborhood Watch, come to the housing meeting, come to the commission's meeting, get people engaged in talking to people. I talk to residents every day. They don't even know who you are. They don't even know your name. I say, name me 3 trustees. The people that was up on the pitch on the highway, they don't even know you. You don't even engage in the community other than going to Rick over to programs to be seen, to have your name called out. It's a travesty. So I feel for you, clerk, because it was so many frivolous 4 years when Debbie Williams was the mayor, and she had to answer all of that. She had to do it all. It made no sense of the things that people wanted to know that had nothing to do with village money. This has a lot to do with village money. I am very concerned about people getting paid for committee meetings and there's nobody at your committee. If you're getting paid for a committee meeting and you didn't have a meeting, they should not be getting paid. Anybody that don't come to a meeting other than the mayor and the clerk should not be getting paid. And that's supposed to be given to the clerk, to give it to Mike. That's the way it used to be. Also, I want to say that I'm doing some research, and I think that, Marvin, you are the only person in history that has ever been an elected official to 2 entities at the same time, simultaneously. I'm doing some research on that, and if it is, then you should be commended for that. You're on the board for the school, and you're on the board for the village at the same time, serving at the same time. I don't know yet, but I'm talking to some people in the village that do know the history of the village, and if it is, March was Black History Month for African American women. We'll have to go back and congratulate you on that. And I just want to say also that, you know, it's a lot going on in the village as far as Dr. Estrada was talked about earlier. If the Owens Group is paying her and we're paying her also, I'm going to FOIA that.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is Renee Richardson, and the reason why I'm here today to speak to everyone, me and my son went downtown, okay? And I just brought this to Joe's attention. Went downtown for the tax, during the tax time, to get things situated with his address, which is 1690 223rd Place. They don't have an address of 1690 223rd Place. They have an address of 1701. I just asked Joe to check. He says he see, but on the map, You don't see my son's house at all, downtown. You don't see nothing that reverts to him, an address. What we did was, went down to deal with the tax situation, which he was getting a tax bill through his mortgage company of $7,000. When we finished, he had a tax bill of $4,500. It took us 2 days to get this straightened out. So that's one of the problems that they asked me to bring to the mayor's understanding, so that they can see that they're going to put in a 1690 because that's the address that he was given, but that's not the address that's there. So maybe you all can look into that and maybe see what you all come up with. But he's been paying the taxes since he's been there almost 6 years. But they have to give a lot of money back to him, a lot of money.
Thank you so much. We will look into that. Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor, my question is,
Name.
my name is Frank Hartley, 2946 223rd place. My question is, in the negotiations for the union, and you have a finance committeeman, and you have the finance, Mr. What's his name? The guy that's over the finance. Mohawk. Do they sit in on the meetings when you talk negotiating with the union? Do they sit in on the meeting?
Is that the only question you have? You have some more?
That's the main question, yeah. That's
I'm
it.
not going to go.
Well, I'm just saying,
Go ahead.
if they don't sit in on the meeting, why not? Because it's about the village business. So why pay somebody, say, $80,000 or $40,000 to do something that you have people that's on the board can do? If they don't have common sense enough to, to know what you want, then why give them the position?
Okay, as far as the finance chairman sitting on the meetings, no, they don't sit in on the meetings for negotiations. We refer to any department head that has something to do with that, be it finance, be it whatever. That's what we have a wealth of information that we go to and draw from. But to have them sit at the meetings and go back and forth like that, no, he can be doing what he's doing for the village daily. And there's some questions because it's negotiations, so they're going back and forth. They're presenting, we're countering back and forth. That's how negotiations work, and it takes a while because they may not accept, but to have the finance chairman to be there and take away from his day-to-day operations or work, no, you have somebody that we actually negotiate on behalf of the village. I chose to not use the lawyers extensively because back they used to charge us $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 each month. So, and it is going to be a long and tedious negotiation. So, I knew that. So, therefore, no, I didn't. And I'm having a one person to do it because, like I stated, it's going to be long and tedious. Yes, ma'am.
That's in this question, but I want to know. Judas, I think the name is Judas Sauk. Is that our treasurer? And if so, is it true, because this is information circulating now, that she was in a lawsuit for misappropriation of funds regarding, I think it's Amcor Bank. And I understand they went into bankruptcy. So I just want to know if our treasurer is that person, and I just need to know that. The other thing is this, I wanted to know, I understand that the senior committee, which I am a part of, that we are going to be basically held responsible for the Wi-Fi bill. I want to know, is this some new procedure? Is that misinformation? Can you help me out here? Okay. Oh, And another thing I do need to know, sir, what exactly is being done for the residents? I see things being done for the businesses, okay? But I want to know the residents. Are we in your plans? And that pretty much, you know.
As far as the allocation that you're talking about, I just found out about something today. I'm going to look into it. And that once I don't, you can't hear me?
No, I can't. I don't know what you mean when you said allocate.
Allocations.
About?
Allocations as far as you were talking about the treasury.
Oh,
Allegations.
I got you.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
The allegations that you presented just now. I don't know how true they are. I just found out about it. I'm not going to talk about it out here until I find out exactly what's going on. So that part there, I have to, and then quite naturally once I find out, I'll disseminate that information. As far as, I don't know who told you, maybe the same person that told you about, I don't know, but there is no, I don't know where it comes from that the senior center, the senior committee is paying for Wi-Fi.
No, are being asked to, not we're doing
Okay, I don't know
it.
who asked them to do that, I have no idea, but no. Nobody said, I've never said anything about asking the senior advisory committee to pay for anything. I mean, it's provided over there, and basically that's what it is. And then your last question was?
Well, I wanted to know
Oh, I'm
what
sorry.
you're doing.
You
for
want to
us.
know what I'm doing for the residents?
Sir, you're the mayor.
Okay, so
You're
you
the
wanted to
boss.
know what I'm doing for the residents?
The boss. What are you having people do? I don't
What am I
even want to
having?
work.
Well, the list is too long to sit up and do that, but I will tell you this.
Give me 5.
I'm not going to go back and forth, okay, because that's not appropriate. But what my job is Chief Executive Officer of the villages to make sure that the villages run properly, to make sure that we take care of our responsibilities that we have, our contractual responsibility as a village. And that means to make sure that we try to pay our bills, that we pay our obligations. It's not always met, but that's what my contractual obligations. As far as what I'm doing, as far as the village, is to try to improve the surroundings of the village, simple as that. This didn't happen overnight. I've been here 38 years. I've been mayor 8-9 months. So I'm trying to do it. As we said today, we just saved $50,500 on one of the entities that we just did, our liability insurance. We're trying to save as much money as we can. We're trying to make sure that every dollar we spend is accountable for. But to go into back and forth to justify, not justify, but keep saying, okay, what did I do? I'm here trying to make a difference. I'm asking you and anyone else to give me a hand, help me along. Be a volunteer. Come out. I'm not going.
You're taking it personal, sir.
No,
I mean,
you gave
in
me
general,
personal.
as far as the residents.
Ma'am, I'm
Sir,
not.
I mean, as far as the residents.
I'm not going.
Not if you outside.
I'm not
No,
going back.
That's not what I meant, sir.
Thank you very much.
That's not what I meant, though.
Thank you. Thank you
You
very
took
much.
it personal is what I'm trying to
Thank
say.
you very
I mean, as
much.
far as, are you cutting our curbs? Are you paving our streets? Are you fixing our lights? Things like that. I didn't mean you going around mowing lawns or
Thank you.
whatever.
Thank you
That
very
doesn't make sense.
Okay.
So, you didn't answer it, though. You answered your question, but
I'm
you didn't
not. You're
answer
debating
mine.
now.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Because
No, I'm
if
not,
I
sir.
say something, you
What
go
it
back.
is you've forgotten that you're
Thank you.
supposed to be representing me. Okay, you're supposed to be, when you were running, it wasn't this arrogant attitude.
I'm not
but
arrogant,
now,
ma'am, but I'm not
now
going
all
back
of a
and
sudden
forth.
you can't
Okay.
be questioned. We
Shut
voted
up,
for
Tanya.
these people
Damn.
here. We
Ma'am,
voted for these people
ma'am,
here, and now we
you're
can't even
taking
address
time
them.
away from
I think that's
someone
out of
else.
order. And I
Okay.
just wanted to
You're
say.
taking. Thank you for
You're
your
welcome.
comment. Thank you for your comment. Anyone next? Questions and comments?